Hey everyone, my name's Mariel and I'm a knitter and a maker based in Northern California. You can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, at What Mariel Made. So, yeah, let's get started. Welcome to another episode. Thanks everybody who joined and subscribed to the channel since my last episode. I don't know where y'all came from, but happy to have you and let's just jump into everything. Okay, I only have one finished object this week, and it is a very exciting finished object. And I started and made it all this morning. I have a day off today and just knew I wanted to like pack a bunch of creative projects into it as possible. So I am wearing them now. I'm going to do a cutaway of what they look like, just like on, just walking around. But I made the Pomona Pants by Anna Allen, and the fabric I used is from just Joanne Fabrics online. And it's this, I have a scrap left. It's this like stripy, thin, pretty lightweight woven like shirting cotton. And I'm really pleased with how they turned out. I followed a tutorial, like a sew along tutorial on YouTube by, I think the channel, I will link it in the description. The channel is Sewing Therapy. Sarah is the person who runs that channel, and I've watched her tutorial a lot of times, and she makes a pair of shorts. So I just wanted to like whip up a pair. I had a bit of a dilemma when I began to plan making this because if you can tell on this scrap, the selvage edge runs this way. So technically, how I was supposed to cut out the pattern pieces, the finished garment would have had horizontal stripes if I had done things the right way. But I really wanted vertical stripes, not horizontal stripes. So I just went ahead and did that and just risked cutting against the grain or cutting in the wrong way. But I think because of this fabric's texture and like it's pretty forgiving in that it's like light and drapey anyway. It worked out. So I'm really pleased with these pants. I'm excited to style them a little bit more. I already have like a few ideas in terms of like how I probably realistically wear them out and around. So yeah, Pomona pants, super easy. I will say in the tutorial that I follow, um, there is no top stitching involved around the crotch and like leg inseam. So I didn't even realize that that was part of like the original written plan, sewing plan, until I was like reading through the pages to find something else. So just FYI on that. I went into a bit of a deep dive on, not a deep dive. I googled real quick like the importance of top stitching and if it had anything to do with like it really helps with like the structural integrity of a piece, and if it was like super necessary for me to like go and pull back and like redo the pieces that I already sewn together. I had already sewn together, and from what I could tell with a quick Google and Reddit reading, top stitching seems to be more of like a stylistic choice, not always super necessary unless maybe you're working with like a stiffer, thicker, more structured fabric, which I wasn't. So I was just kind of like, you know what? I'll cut my losses and just go with it. So I ended up not doing any top stitching for the crotch seam and like the crotch areas and then the inner leg inseam. But other than that, yeah, I'm stoked to make more. This waist elastic that I used, I have it over here. I also just got this from Joanne. It was like the only 2-inch elastic they had available, and I was also not so sure about using this elastic because it's soft elastic, and the pattern Anna Allen recommends to use like a stiffer, like straightforward elastic, again for more like structural integrity to hold up your pants, especially if you're using a thicker or more structured fabric. But again, since I was just kind of like winging it and working with what I had, and the fabric I'm using is like very, very light and airy, I figured it would be fine to use a softer fabric. And it has a nice, actually really nice feel, and it's very comfortable. It kind of gives like boxer, like actual boxer shorts elastic feel. So like super, super soft. But I think because of how thick it is, it still holds up like a full pair of pants for me. I should also mention that I am 5 feet tall. Right now, my waist is about at like a 29, 30 inch waist. And my ideal leg inseam, depending on how long I want my pants to be, I think I should remeasure just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I had these be around a 26 inch inseam for like a full length pant. So FYI, if you want to do that. And I made a size 6. Should definitely mention that. So that is my finished object. I'm very excited, and summer has got me wanting to do more sewing and take care of my sewing machine and clean it and figure out how to use it better and get a little bit better at my like super basic sewing skills. So for now, to get into works in progress is just going to kind of bleed into acquisitions. You'll see why. But my first work in progress, I didn't show it last time because not no progress has been made, and again, no progress has been made. Oh, dang it, another plane. Whatever, I'm just gonna talk over it. But it is the air blouse, but I just wanted to show y'all what it looked like for now. This is what I am talking about when I'm talking about the air blouse. There, I just have to add the sleeves. But the sleeves are essentially just two really long tubes of stockinette, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. So I should just weave in the ends and wear this as a tank in the meantime. So I might do that and then add the sleeves one day, maybe, maybe not. But that is the air blouse by Daima's Patterns. Can't figure out how to say the designer's name. And if you like the look of this, I was about to say, if you like the look of this stitch or like this texture, there is another design pattern that I found called the Net Top by the designer Knit Diet, which looks very similar, but I think it's like a raglan construction, which sounds really intriguing to me. So I'll also link that if you're interested in kind of doing a similar but maybe a different way of making this type of top. And the really quick, the yarn I'm using is 100% cotton yarn that I got from Amazon from the brand Estaco. That is the first kind of work in progress. My next work in progress are ones that I showed you last week as well. They're my Jeju Island socks. And I had one sock finished at that point. And now, I'm tangled up. Now I have the second sock going. I took this recently on a trip to Chicago and actually didn't knit on it very much until the plane ride back. So I've only gotten like a little bit done. Basically since, what you can see was done from this orange stitch marker. So I'm just kind of leisurely going through this. Again, it's probably going to be mainly a commute or really mindless knit. And I'll link my Ravelry page below for this, where I already have all the measurements and like numbers of all the stitches listed out if you wanted to go ahead and like try making a similar pair. These are 3x1 ribbed sock, and I wear about a 6.5 US women's size shoe, and they fit me perfectly. And they have a shadow wrap heel, which, if you know, you know, I love me a shadow wrap heel. They are the best, and they're super quick. So those are the Jeju Island socks. And my next work in progress is the sole top, or top sole, by Mochi Knits. And if you remember from episode 2, I got a cotton slub yarn from Korea, and that's what I ended up making. This is what I ended up making with that yarn. So this is where it's at. It's pretty much almost done. I'm just adding length to the body now. So I've been putting it off, like actually putting in a cord and a barber cord and trying it on properly. But I think I'm going to I'm on my last ball, but I still have a good amount left. So I think I might add like maybe at least 2 or 3 inches more of length. It's going to be fairly oversized, but I think it'll be a cool vibe. And I don't plan to do the strings that are in the pattern. I'm thinking I might just attach some like elastic buttonholes, just sew them on later, and use some like pretty shell, mother of pearl shell buttons, maybe. I need to go just like peruse the button aisle at my local like craft store, but keep you updated on that. This is just a really fun texture. The color is not something I usually wear, but once it's done, we'll see if I'll realistically want to like style it a lot more. But if not, then I definitely have a friend that loves this color and that I could give it to, but we'll see. I still may keep it. I did make one mistake, and because of the texture of this yarn, it's a pretty big mistake. It makes the armholes a lot bigger. I just forgot to join it. I don't exactly remember, but I basically didn't join it back in time. I knit a bit too much of the chart. And because of the slubby texture of this yarn, it just seemed like such a headache to rip out and frog and go back. So I'm just kind of going with it again. And you'll kind of notice that I'm this type of like knitter maker nowadays. Like I just can't be bothered. And for the most part, I'm okay if things are like a little imperfect, because if you can't like notice it, if the naked eye can't notice most things, then it's not going to bug me once it's done. So I'll keep you updated on this. This will probably be done by next episode, so stay tuned. I should also mention I did not end up making or starting the book club cardigan because I still didn't feel happy with any of the yarns that I was trying. So I'm going to wait till the perfect yarn comes across, and I just know I'll make it one day, but not right now, and that's okay. I'm still a part of this like make along, knit along chat on Instagram that's going on for the book club cardigan. It's been really cool to see everybody, like everyone's cardigans grow, and it's given me a lot of ideas in terms of like yarns and colors that I might want to use in the future. So that plan is on ice, but it'll get done at some point, I'm pretty sure. It's such a classic design. Hello, this is editing Mariel coming to you because I forgot a whip. I forgot about this because it was tucked away in a bag. This is a whip for a summer tee. I'll put the exact pattern on the screen, but I started knitting a summer tee with my local yarn shop and started participating in a knit along. And yeah, it's just getting started. So I've just done the neckline. I think it's a pretty simple increased circular yoke tee that does have some raglan increases towards the sleeve or towards the armpit area. And the yarn that I'm using is Lena, Sandusky Lena, which I'm excited about because I've heard such good things about this yarn and I've just been really curious. So using Lena, this yarn was gifted by my local yarn shop. I befriended my local yarn shop owner, so that's been nice. And the color number is 3820. I think this is putty, and I'm really excited and it feels really good. And yeah, just popping in so I don't miss this. And it's in my fun project bag that I got from Asia. Okay, bye. Okay. Next, I have 2 works in progress, and we're gonna have a thematic switch to spinning. I don't know if I even mentioned this. I think I just mentioned it on my Instagram, but I've been like very interested in spinning, hand spinning, specifically with a drop spindle, ever since I've like known about it, for a little bit, but then I saw somebody doing it in person in front of me at a sheep shearing festival like a couple months ago now, and it just really intrigued me, and I was like, I want to do that. And I followed a lot of people on Instagram and YouTube, and I've been watching a lot of videos. So essentially I started spinning this last like couple weeks, and needless to say, I am addicted to this realm of the fiber arts now. So surprise, surprise. And I have 2 like in progress spins. I don't even know the lingo, but I have 2 in progress like yarns. This was my first ever yarn. I joked on my Instagram that it's giving like art yarn vibes. Like it's very, very uneven. And I did this just pretty much without researching too much just yet, because I wanted to just like feel all of the pieces in the process like in my hands of spinning before I really started like getting a better handle on my technique. So, oh, I should also mention the spindle and fiber that I got is from an Etsy shop called Walnut Farm Designs. And they have a lot of options for fiber and I think a few different options for spinning kits. You can either also just get the spindle on your own if you already have fiber. So it was really nice to just like get a kit. It was pretty affordable too. I think the entire kit was like $18.99, which came with two different fibers to spin with and a drop spindle, and then some like instructions and YouTube videos. So this is the very first one that I did, and I still have to like wash it and thwack it and do all the finishing things, which I'm still researching as well. So I'll keep you updated on this guy. And then this is my second spin and my first time attempting to ply. So this is just a single. I didn't ply this together at all. This is just like one, like a single spin. I don't know. But for the second one, I ended up having a bit more consistency in my spinning and attempted to do a 2-ply yarn because I just divided the amount of my first spin into two separate like balls essentially and just plied them together again on the drop spindle, twisting in the opposite direction. And if you're not interested in spinning, all this is gonna just sound like gibberish and boring, but yeah, this is how it turned out. Again, I have to like wash it, and I think I'm going to try to make a piece of equipment called a nitty knotty with like PVC pipe. So I need to go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something. But I've seen Doherty Studio here on YouTube. She has like a DIY one made out of PVC pipes, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just gonna do that because I have no patience to order one and wait for it to come. So once I have that ready, I think that's when I can like start preparing the yarn for being washed and properly finished. So that is what I have for my spinning whips. So fun, so cool. I don't know what type of fiber this is. It's wool, but I think it's just like practice wool that the shop owner gives you in the kit, just like have you get the feel. But I do have extra fiber, like a separate fiber, a nicer fiber that I ordered from their shop because I was like, okay, assuming everything goes like decently well, I'm probably gonna want to have like a slightly nicer fiber to spin, and this is it. This is Corriedale wool combed top, 4 ounces in the colorway tropical, and it's so cool. I'm also just like so curious to see how this spins out. But yeah, probably won't start to do this until I fully have like these yarns washed just to like kind of see how they turn out. So I'm going to save it for a rainy day, but I'm really excited to see how this comes out and to see how Corriedale feels. I think I chose a Corriedale specific wool because based on like the little bit of research that I did, Corriedale has like usually has a slightly longer staple length, like fiber length. So it's recommended for beginners to kind of start doing because you can handle it a little bit better. So yeah, it's been really fun, and it is another fiber rabbit hole that I've fallen down, but I'm having a great time. And I'm gonna try to like keep it slow, just work with a drop spindle, get really good at that before I even like entertain investing in anything else. So I already have my eye on a lot of different fiber. Oh, I should also say Paper Flower Knits on Instagram inspired me a lot. I feel like I just keep copying things she does, like just a bit delayed. Like she started spinning a few months ago, and yeah, all the stuff she does is so cool, and I like seeing her progress and her process. So that is that in terms of my work in progress, and then kind of went into an acquisition. Ooh, quickly, before I get into acquisitions, I also wanted to give a shout out to Rain Fiber Arts on YouTube as well. Her videos are really useful to like see up close like how somebody spins. And I learned a really cool technique as I'm drafting or like pulling the fiber out and getting it ready for the twist of the drop spindle to go into it to make yarn. I'll link the video below, but essentially what her big tip is to like twist in the opposite direction that your yarn is twisting in. And yeah, basically just do that and it kind of helps like move everything along. And yeah, really grateful. Okay, now into acquisitions. This is the only yarn acquisition I've gotten since the last episode. It is a sock yarn. I recently made I made a knitting friend online, and then we met up in person and went to a local yarn shop together, which was great. And we both decided to make a pair of socks and have like matching pairs of socks because she's been interested in making socks. Obviously, I've been in like a socky mood these last few months, so we both got different colorways of this Rowan sock yarn, which is 100 grams of superwash wool, and it's like slightly variegated. And I got mine for $23. Well, this is what the yarn looks like. It's really pretty. Like, I didn't realize how much variation there was in the color. And the texture of the yarn too. It looks like hand spun yarn almost. So excited to see how this knits up. And I'll probably just make a pair of just regular vanilla socks with these. So stay tuned for that. These will be nice and cozy. So that is my first yarn acquisition. I've shown you all the spinning acquisitions because this is another close-up of my drop spindle. And you saw the fiber. So I think just the last thing is a couple fabrics. So you saw the fabric that I used to make my pants, my first pair of Pomona pants, but I also got this fabric. I think this was like a cotton rayon slub blend in this like really pretty Kelly green color. I got 2 yards of this because I also wanted to try making a pair of shorts, Pomona Pants shorts, because I saw this one, I saw this image on Pinterest or Instagram and was like, I just want to recreate that outfit like to a T. So I got fabric to do that, and I don't know if this is my color necessarily, but I think it's a fun color for like spring, summer, and I definitely have enough fabric to make like a matching top or like a top of some sort with this as well. So we'll see what happens with this, but I just need to get matching thread. I didn't think about that when I was getting this fabric, that I don't have Kelly green thread, so need to get some thread. Probably will do that later today, but that is coming up. I just made an order with Pearl Soho for some linen quill yarn because I've been eyeing it for so long, and a few friends gave me a gift card for my birthday this year, so I've been like waiting for the right sale to come by and just like snatch up some of that linen quill. So hopefully that's in by the next time I film, and I'll show you the plans that I have for that yarn. So yes, let's move on. Now I just have like in terms of like random media, favorite media I'm watching or enjoying lately, I have a few Instagram accounts that have been fun to follow and just kind of like scroll through. So the first one is just like pure lifestyle and somebody who happens to knit. It is the Moments of Jane Instagram account, and Jane is just like a really sweet woman. And I think her daughter maybe helps run the account and like helps film and everything, but it's so wholesome. It's mainly just like Jane going about her life. I think she's like in her 70s. She's very stylish, has a very like clean, crisp home, cooks a lot, has tea time a lot, knits, and she's just basically goals. And I want to thrift myself a tea set now and have afternoon tea time like Jane does. So that's the moments of Jane. And then I have a spinning knitting account that I've liked to follow recently too, and it's the account at What Viv Does. And I just really like the colors that she chooses and the things that she makes with her yarn. So highly recommend that account if you need some like inspiration. And then let's see, YouTube wise, Emma Robinson. I may have mentioned this last time, or maybe not, but I've been slowly going through Emma Robinson's like videos on her YouTube channel. She's like the owner of a hand dyeing yarn company called Woolly Mammoth Fiber Co. And her colors are beautiful. Her yarns are beautiful. I have yet to like try them in person, but I have my eye on her advent calendar this year. It is Sound of Music themed. And when I was a little baby, like 1 or 2 years old, my mom like played The Sound of Music for me, and I think I watched it like every single day when I was really young, to the point where like my parents got sick of it. But I grew up on that movie. I love that movie. And so Emma's advent calendar theme just seems like so perfect. Like if I were to get an advent calendar, it would be a Sound of Music themed advent calendar. So I think I might ask for that as an early Christmas gift from my entire family, because it's not cheap and it would ship all the way from um it would just ship from a very, very, very far distance. So I don't even know how much that would cost, but we'll see. Plus, Emma's husband did all the artwork, or did the artwork for that advent calendar graphic. And if you've seen it, it's wild. It's amazing. So there's just a lot of things like exciting me about that. So hopefully I will get that soon and invest in it, or ask for it. And that's it for media, I'm pretty sure. 2 random life things. First thing is a swim update. So last time we chatted, I had gotten like a membership to a pool, or I was like looking into getting a membership at a gym with a pool, and I joined and I went for one swim, and it was amazing. And it took me back to like middle school when I was in like recreational swim team, and it felt so good, and it just was really nice. I did get sunburnt though, because I stupidly didn't wear sunscreen on my back, and I hung out outside once I got back and like totally didn't think to cover up. And then I got sick. I caught like a chest cold. So I haven't been back in like a couple weeks, but I hope to kind of keep that up, especially now that it's definitely getting warmer. And yeah, there's just more time to swim and more sunlight and more of the day to take advantage and go swimming. So gonna keep swimming. And then my second random, it's not really a life update, it's just like my current food fixation. My husband and I will tend to like fixate on a type of meal and then eat it over and over and over and over again until we're sick of it, and then we just like wait for the next thing to hit us. So lately it's been homemade pita bread with butter and toom, which is like a garlicky spread, and scrambled eggs. Well, for me, it's scrambled eggs. He usually eats it with like other stuff, but it's so good. Also, just highly recommend toom. I saw some friends recently and was like, "Have y'all heard of toom?" Shout out to my sister, by the way. One of my sisters who told me about toom, but it's so good. It's like a whipped garlic spread essentially. It's like a Mediterranean roots, I think, in terms of where it comes from, but it's so good, and it adds just like the right little level of like kick and like garlic spice to whatever you're eating. It's really good with meat if you eat meat. It's really good on bread with butter. It's so good. It just adds a little like nice little bite or acidic like flavor. almost. So highly recommend that. And the pita recipe that I'm using is from Alexandra Cooks. I think that's the account. She just has amazing bread recipes. So I usually go to her site, her blog first if I'm looking for like a bread related recipe. And I think that's it. I believe that's it. I don't really have any travel coming up, so hopefully I can keep these going a little more consistently. Thank you again to everyone who has joined since last episode. Please subscribe and like this video if you want to see more. And let me know what you're working on down in the comments. I'd love to hear and get more inspiration or just learn about new patterns and new types of projects. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.